Okay, so by now you should have formatted your spreadsheet to the example document, something similar to this. What I want to show you now are two things. First, I'm going to show you how to automatically put your dates and your weeks in, and anytime you want to have data that follows a pattern, I'm going to show you how to do that. So let's start with the date. The first date for this school year was 9/7, September 7th. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to plug that in, 9/7. Okay, I could go down through here, and what this is every Wednesday. I could go all the way down through here and hit 9/7, and then the next would be 9/23, 9/30, so forth. But that takes a little more thought and a little more time than I want. So what we're going to do, I'm going to click in the cell just below the date, and we're going to enter just a simple formula here. I'm going to I'm going to hit the enter sign, and you can see this formula being typed in up here as I do it. So we're going to hit enter, and what we're going to do, I'm going to click the date that I'm starting with, and so that selects that cell, which it knows is 9/7, and all we're going to do is hit +1. So that's a simple command to tell this that this cell is going to be equal to the cell right above it +1. If we hit enter, you'll see it automatically changes it to 9/8. Okay, so we could do that, and it would follow all the way down through here: 9/8, 9/9, 9/10, 9/11, 9/12. And I actually messed up here because I don't want to. I'm wanting to do this once a week, so I don't need every other day. So I'm actually going to go back to that formula. You can see this is 9/7, the date. The next one doesn't actually have the date. It has that the little command that we put in there. So I'm going to change that. Instead of +1, we're actually going to do +7. That should rotate us every 7 days. So we'll just double check, make sure that I'm putting that in right. Yes, 9/14 is the next. So we got 9/7. So what we can do, using this formula now, I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to apply it to every cell down through here. Okay. By doing that, it will reoccur completely as it goes down through. It'll add 7 days every time, and you can see when we get to the end of September, it automatically rolls over for October. Now again, we've got the hashtags popped up again. You already know what's causing that issue. There's not enough room for what we've got there, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make those cells just a little bit wider. And there you go. You can see once we got to the 2-digit month by 2-digit days, there just wasn't quite enough room in there. So we've added just a little bit to that, so it has room to fit now. And that is exactly how you do that. Same thing we're going to do over here with the weeks. 9/7 was actually the 3rd week of school. We started collecting data the 3rd week because the first couple weeks we're doing teacher routines, procedures, and map testing and things of that nature, so we weren't actually collecting data yet. But same thing, I could say week 3, 4, 5, I could go down through here and manually add these in, but it's just going to take a little bit of time, and it's something I don't have to do. So same thing I'm going to do again. I'm clicking just below that first week. You have to put the first one in as week 3. Just below that, and I'm hitting equals again. And again, you can look right here to the command bar where I'm writing in. And we're going to equal that cell with the 3 in there. And we're going to do plus. And we're just going to do 1 because these are weeks. So we already just add 1 week at a time. So you can see that automatically makes that a 4. So if we copy that command and paste it into the next box, it does the same thing, except instead of 3, it starts with the 4 and adds 1, so 5. And we just copy all these cells and paste it in, and that's automatically going to go through a number of cells for us. We don't have to mess with none of that stuff. Makes it just a little bit quicker, a little bit easier. Okay. Second thing I want to show you is, I told you I was going to show you how to do those averages. Whenever you have a goal that might depend on 2 or 3 benchmarks. Okay. So what I want you to look at on this is, let's look at week 1. Let's say for the first goal we had 100%. Okay. Well, first of all, you see when I typed that in, it was just 100. I do want to show these as percentages. So let's go, and we formatted cells before, but I'm going to show you one more time. We didn't do percentages, is what I'm going to show you. But I'm going to highlight all these cells that I want to change from just a regular number. We're going to right-click, Format Cells, and we're going to change that to percentage. Okay, and right now it's set for 2 decimal places, so it would say, like, if your average was 67.88, it would say 67.88. I'm going to roll that down to 0 decimal points, and it'll round the number, so it'll automatically move that up to 68 for me. Okay, so with that, let's go back and make this 100% again. Okay, perfect, worked great that time. All right, so for goal 2, I'm not actually putting a percentage in. I'm going to do the benchmark. So let's say this is a social goal that says he's going to follow directions. I think our example before was that benchmark 1 would be that Jenny would use an appropriate voice level. And let's say she's done that 75% proficiency this week. And so in benchmark 2, we said that she was going to stay in her assigned area. And let's say she's a little worse at that, so she's only been in her seat 55% this week on our data probe, our little weekly or daily chart as we're tracking her behavior. So the question is, we could pull out a calculator or maybe even do the math in our head to figure out sometimes what this percentages is and just go over here and write it in. I could say this is probably going to be somewhere around like, 65%, I guess. I can do that in my head pretty easy. But sometimes when these numbers change, it won't be that simple. So what I can do, we're going to enter in another little simple formula. So I'm going to click the cell that I want. I'm going to hit the equal sign. We always start with equals. And I'm going to type out the word average. Average, then you're going to hit a bracket, or not a bracket, but a parentheses, and we're going to average these two cells. And so you can see here it says N6 all the way to 06. There's only two cells though. So then we're going to close parentheses. Okay, look up here at the formula. Equals average, there's a parentheses, and it says N6 colon 06. Remember what I did? Actually just well, I'll show you how to do that one more time, but hit enter right now and it automatically puts that average in there for us. Now what I can do, I can copy this and go all the way down through here and have it so that it's ready to put the average in every single time when I put a data into the benchmarks. It's going to average that goal. But I want to show you one more time how to do that. So let's say for week 4, let's put some data in. Say benchmark 1, let's say she got a little better. She is now at 82%. And for her staying in her assigned area, she's got a little bit worse at that. She went down to 43%. Now 82 and 43, you're a pretty good mathematician if you can average that in your head real quick. The quickest thing to do is to copy and paste that average, but I want to show you one more time how to do it. You're going to click in the cell where you want the average to go, and pay attention right here. We're going to hit the equal sign. We're going to type the word average. We're going to do a parenthesis, which is your shift 9. And then we could type in the actual cell names if we wanted to, but what I'm doing, watch my cursor. I'm going to go down. I'm going to click the benchmark 2, and I'm going to hold the left mouse key down, and I'll bring it over. And I've highlighted both those cells now. Okay, you see it outlined in blue there, and that's N7 and 07. And then all we're going to do is use our shift 0, which closes our parentheses at the top, and hit your enter key. Okay, right there, 63%. So it automatically does that average for us. Now instead of having to type that in every time, remember how we did the weeks and how we did the dates. All we're going to do is we're going to copy our command that we put in. We're going to go to all these cells done through here, and we're going to go ahead and paste those in there. Okay, now right now we're getting hashtags, and that's not because the cell's not big enough. We're getting a hashtag because there's no data over here. So you've got two options. You can go ahead and copy and have all this pasted in there ready as you enter data, or you can do this every week when you put your data. I like to keep mine a little cleaner, so I actually put in the benchmark data and then just copy and paste every week. But this is fine to have like that. It's ready to go. If you watch as I put these numbers in, it's going to automatically give us an average. Okay, so makes it nice and simple. Okay, we're going to show Jenny's getting quite a bit better here all of a sudden. It doesn't get, well, a little bit bigger there. It doesn't get much easier than that. So that's the two things I wanted to show you: how to use the commands to add your dates and to add on your weeks without having to type those all in. And I wanted to show you how to have this thing set up so that it automatically does your averages for you in cases where you need to do that. Okay, if you were to have a third benchmark out here, when I highlighted these two, all you would do is just highlight your third benchmark, all three of those, and it's going to list it right up here at the top for you. And just make sure you put those in. It's equals, average, parentheses with your cells that you want to average inside of them. Nice and simple. Okay.